Hello! Welcome to the Right Stuff Anime Podcast.
Woo! Hi!
Yo.
Yo. Today is a special episode because we'll be talking about anime madness.
It's the madness that is anime.
But first, let's do some introductions. I'm Will. I am a social media coordinator.
I'm Chris, merchandising coordinator.
I'm Quinn, also merchandising coordinator.
And I'm Devlin, and I'm a social media coordinator.
We have our ghost person here too, but they're not talking. It's fine.
They're our secret producer / sound recorder.
Yeah!
Hello.
Yes. They're doing a great job not getting in the way, and you guys are just pointing them out.
I listen to another podcast where the producer never talks, and they talk about her all the time. It's hilarious.
Nice.
I'm giving a thumbs up.
We've got a lot of stuff on our plate today, but before we get too deep into it, let's check into a few of the big news items popping up in the anime world this week. One big thing, Discotek announced a lot of new titles that they're going to be putting out in the near future.
Yes.
There are a lot of highlights here if you folks want to touch on some of your favorites.
Oh, I'm last. I'm excited that no one else is excited about.
Let's talk about it.
I like Kakaishi. It is not the biggest announcement, and people are like, what? But this is a license rescue, I'm pretty sure, because I remember looking at it going, I'm poor, I can't afford this, so I'm super excited. So Kakaishi is kind of a supernatural chase the spirits, and it evolves into a bigger story that the anime never unfortunately got around to, but it's still really good. People that like Blue Exorcist would probably really like this. And it was just a really good show that I thoroughly enjoyed. The manga is available, and it's just, I love it. I'm getting it. It's mine.
The one I'm particularly pretty excited about, they announced that they are going to start putting out on a SD Blu-ray the entire run of Sergeant Frog.
Kero.
He's one of the favorites around here.
Yes.
About an alien frog sent to Earth to take over the world, and then he just rather gets obsessed with, like, gunpla and other nonsense.
He turns into a giant nerd.
It gets very silly. But there are, like, 358 episodes, I think, was their announcement? And they're going
A
to
whole lot.
put those out
Wow.
down the road, so...
Yeah. Not a lot of details on that one, because I know that Funimation had it for a while, so we're speculating that the dub might show up.
Yeah, I think,
maybe
like,
not,
the
we don't
first
know.
2 seasons are dubbed,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure if
Yeah.
they have announced if they're actually going to be releasing that or not.
Yeah, no idea. Don't take our word for it, just that it's been announced that they're licensing it.
Yeah, I would be excited because as a fan of the director Osamu Tezuka, his Dear Brother anime is coming to Blu-ray. I checked in a few of the first episodes on Retro Crush, and it's just Tezuka at his best. If you don't know him, he did like Rose of Versailles and Tomorrow's Joe, Space Adventure Cobra.
That is a mix. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, he's just done all sorts of different type of anime, but his unique and really influential style is in all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Yeah, and the one thing that they emphasized with Dear Brother that it is not going to be around for a long time, so don't sit on that, oh, I might get it later thought, because it may not be there for you later. It was a very short license period that they've got it for.
Yeah.
So make sure that you jump on that once it's actually available.
And then the final one here that we got on our list, a very cool old school one from the 80s. They found some masters for Project A-ko.
Yeah. So I guess a person who runs Animego was like doing some other work for his other Kickstarter project he was working on, and through some weird paper trails, he was able to find these master copies, these 35mm masters of Project A-ko, just sitting on a shelf apparently that nobody really knew because through the magic of paperwork, it just disappeared.
See, paper trails are always good.
Yeah. Well, it was actually more like missing paper trails.
Oh, missing paper
It's
trails.
not like he was going through the list like, there's this thing that's missing, and he tracked it down and found Project A-ko.
Nice.
That's crazy.
And if anybody is confused, because I've never heard it said, I have always referenced it as Project AKO, so... I don't know which one's correct.
I don't know either.
It's A-ko. It revolves around a girl named A-ko who is super strong and best friends with a dainty little girl named B-ko. And then a rich girl named C-ko decides she wants to be B-ko's best friend and builds a bunch of tech and robots and stuff and tries to seal her away. And it gets very silly. It's wacky 80s sci-fi nonsense with splashes of fan service and stuff like that thrown in for good measure. But it's very zany, off the wall, and a lot of fun. And it's also on Retro Crush if you want to check it out. But it will probably look a lot better in this new release. It's something that might be fun if you want to check back and see some of the coolness of 80s anime. Like, I miss the mecha detail they used to put in stuff like that, and there's a lot of that, like, just shiny, cool 80s robots. So, it's a lot of fun. Other big news we got. They just announced this week, Devil is a Part-Timer Season 2.
It only took almost a decade! Oh my gosh!
Hell has frozen over.
Yes.
Yep, and they're getting takeout.
Literally. Takeout. Yeah, super excited for that one.
Other stuff, looks like we're getting an OVA and a new OVA for Ancient Magus Bride.
Yep, and I believe it's the original story. It's not based off of the manga. So that'll be interesting. I know that the current OVAs that are out are really good, that people really enjoyed those. And then the girl on the other side, it has a Kickstarter that launched today, and it's already surpassed its goal. Will and I are both very excited about this one.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the manga, and the short that came out recently was really well done.
Yeah.
A really unique style of animation in Japan or just anywhere.
Yeah, it has like a reminiscent woodblock print look to it, and it's deals with like these forest beings that live in the outer realm, but you can still interact with them, and if you touch them, you're cursed, supposedly, according to the human realm. And it's got really good visuals, and the thing I'm excited about is that they are offering Blu-ray with English subtitles on it for people outside of Japan.
Yeah.
So buy stimulus money.
Very nice. And then we got some manga news here. Demba has licensed March Comes In Like a Lion.
Yes.
Wow. That's one of those things where you just never think it's actually ever going to happen.
Looking forward to that one.
I still need to watch the anime.
Yes.
It's on my list,
Yeah,
but
same.
am I ready to cry?
Yes. Ready to cry.
You're ready to cry, and you're ready to cry over shogi.
I know, right? I've never learned so much about a very, very niche game in my life. Oh my goodness.
Right, you thought chess was complicated. Guess what happens when you can't read the pieces very well? Native speaker.
Don't worry, they have an entire episode dedicated to explaining how shogi works, and it's done with cute little nyan cats.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Nice. Well, that does it for the news we got going on. Now, let's get down to the business of anime madness. For you folks that don't really follow sports, this is a big time for basketball fans.
What sports?
Get that all the time. The NCAA basketball tournament is kicking off next Thursday. Actually, I think technically it's next Tuesday because they have play-in games. But to get the ball rolling for us, we sort of play off of that. We do a little thing here called Anime Madness. If you go to our website, you can fill out a bracket. We got 32 franchises that are going head-to-head in a single elimination tournament. You will be voting over the weeks to pick your favorites, and at the end, one franchise will be left standing tall. As those products are in the tournament, we also have special select items for them on sale. And as long as a series stays alive in the tournament, those items continue to be on sale. So if there's something you want to save money for by the end of the sale and want to keep it in there, keep voting for it. So
yeah, the question is do you vote for your favorite or do you vote for the thing you can't afford yet but can at the end of the week? That's your question.
Yep, I mean, we got tax returns and stimulus checks coming through soon. So
Yeah.
a lot of stuff on the line here. But we got 32 franchises together, and this year we did a special sort of swerve on it. We did old school versus new school. Instead of just picking 32 items, we picked 16 modern hits and 16 classics, and we paired them up against each other.
And there are some weird matchups in this.
It's
Not just, hey, it's a slice of life against a slice of life. We have weirdness factors like Haikyuu going against Full Metal Panic.
Oh yeah.
And who could forget Cowboy Bebop versus Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So those are some examples on the bracket.
Yeah. It's on our website if you want. Check it out. WriteStuffAnime.com. Looking at the brackets, our round of 32 pairings. First up, we got My Hero Academia versus The Big O.
Ooh,
Yeah.
That'll be a fun one.
Yeah.
it would be.
Or like one of our coworkers has blatantly stated, because he's too young, what's the big O? It'll lose immediately, which I can't say I can't disagree,
Yeah.
but
Like-
at the same time, watch the big O, it's good.
Yeah, those of us that grew up with Toonami, the original Toonami, and early anime on Adult Swim, got a soft spot in our heart for the Big O. But at the same time, there's a lot of Deku fans out there.
Yes.
I mean, MHA was last year's champion, if I remember.
Yep,
Yep.
they are the defending champs, and so
It's got a season 5 coming out.
Oh,
Yeah, there's a lot of hype behind it.
Yeah.
so that'll be interesting. Pairing number 2, we've got Inuyasha versus Rising of the Shield Hero. I think this is a really interesting matchup
This
here.
is a good, tough matchup. You got,
Yeah.
Inuyasha with Yashahime and Shield Hero with their recent announcements as well.
Yep, they are getting a season 2, I believe, in October. Yeah, so. Oh my gosh.
And meanwhile, Viz is putting out Blu-rays of Inuyasha now,
Mm-hmm.
and we've got like Will said, Yashahime's currently being released in Japan.
Will
So
the old school fans come to its aid and boost it to the next level? That is the question.
yeah, that'll be a great competition. Another really cool tough pairing here. We've got
Yeah.
Fate Stay Night versus Soul Eater. Is this the year where Fate finally starts to cool down? Fate has always been a strong competitor in our
Yeah.
tournament,
Yep.
but there hasn't been a ton of new Fate stuff lately. And Soul Eater, they've got the really nice hardcovers coming out right
Yeah.
now.
Yep, they've got those out. Those have been very popular.
Oh yeah. Next up, as was previously forementioned, we've got Cowboy Bebop versus Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid.
Old school all the way.
Old school, yeah.
Yeah. Classic. We got the amazing Cowboy Bebop vinyl out now. If you haven't seen that on our site, and we've got the live action show is going to be coming on Netflix in the next year or so.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a big factor there too, I think.
I'm just interested because Dragon Maid, their season 2 got announced recently.
Mhm.
So I'm interested in seeing how that can push it and beat Bebop.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think that's like a common factor in a lot of these matchups, whether or not there's enough buzz around new season announcements and all that.
Exactly. The thing is, a lot of these classic series, they don't just stay in the past. They're getting refreshed or touched up, and it's bringing a lot of extra flavor to the tournament. And you never know when re-releases are going to pop up too. So,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
next up, we've got Gundam Wing versus Wandering Witch.
I feel like, considering the demographics of our customers, I feel like this would be a clear win. But you
Yeah.
never know.
Yep. I mean, I've got a bunch of robots at my desk. I've got the Ultra Edition of Gundam Wing at my apartment. I'm a robot boy. It's been mentioned here on the show many times before.
Just in this episode alone.
Hell yeah. So, I mean, I know which way I'm voting. And I feel like we know which way everybody else is voting. But that's up to you. If you're just like, I'm tired of the mecha, let's get it out of here.
Rally, people, rally.
Yep.
Rally.
You can do it.
All right. Here's what I think is a really interesting pairing between two really similar franchises. We've got Toradora versus Joramia.
Yep, Joramia is the big show of the season, and you can't say no to his pretty blues. And it's egg time.
It's egg time.
I think I need to watch this show just so I can get the joke. I mean,
Yeah,
just
you
egg
do.
time sounds great, as it is.
It's excellent.
So, Devlin's last episode on the pod.
Yep. Cracking out.
God! Oh, my God. Oh, it hurts. Anyway.
Enough of the yolks.
I'm just going to hide under the table for the rest of the show.
I approve.
Oh.
I love puns. Keep them going.
Please, can we go on?
Let's just go to the next match.
All right. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure taking on Bakemonogatari.
Yeah, that one I think is kind of tough. Bakemono is just a big franchise, but fans I hate to say it, but they seem to not rally as much as I think they should behind it. And JoJo's is just, I'm sorry, people, you're all a bunch of weirdos. in a good way, but I don't get that show at all. Hey, look, we got one here.
It's so fun. Between the Blu-rays for Golden Wind, Thus Spoke Kishibe Rohan just went up on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
The manga for Golden Wind is going to be coming out at the end of the year.
Ooh.
So, yeah, I think that's a JoJo's pick there.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Bakemono has the new manga, but yeah, they've just got their solid franchise behind them.
Anyway, next up, Haikyuu versus Full Metal Panic. This one could be an interesting one, potentially. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of Full Metal Panic fans out there. Like, it's got a wide variety of vibes, because you've got the goofball comedy that you get early on, but then also the very serious war drama that hits later in the series.
I think Chris is just rooting for the mecha.
I mean, yeah, but I think Haikyuu is also going to win this. So.
Yeah, with its newest season and just that strong pickup that brought, I think Haikyuu will win this one.
Yeah, plus we're starting to get into the final volumes of the manga coming out, so the finish line's in sight there. So,
Sadness.
all right, moving over to the top of the bracket. This is a really prototypical classic versus modern classic matchup. We've got Lupin the Third versus Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba. And man,
It'll be Lupin. I said with sarcasm.
I'd like to think that. Lupin's great. He's a classic for a reason.
Yeah, I love Lupin. I wish he would win, but nothing's going to stop this Infinity Train.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna say Infinity Train just really
Yeah.
yeah.
People are so
Demon
hyped for
Slayer,
that one.
let's go. Alright, killed Lupin fans there.
All right, here's another interesting pairing here. We've got Berserk versus Kunosuba.
Yeah.
Two very different flavors of fantasy going on here.
Yeah.
This is a good coin flip.
The characters from Konosuba would take on Berserk and then wonder why they were stupid and did so.
If
what
they
would
were
do.
still alive.
Well, they would probably get resurrected somehow because that show is nuts.
Yeah.
Someone somewhere. Yeah.
Hmm.
I think I'm going to go with Konosuba.
I don't know where to go, because
Yeah.
Konosuba is strong, but also Berserk is strong too.
That's
Yeah.
Like,
Their fans are very Berserk.
yeah.
Yeah, he has a very dedicated fan base.
Yes.
That was like a hard spot for me. I had to leave that for the end to decide. So I don't know.
Here, another fun one. Attack on Titan versus Revolutionary Girl Utena.
Man, why did these have to be picked together in the first round?
That hurts me.
Yeah. It's like a tear goes down my cheek.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're sad Attack on Titan won't lose, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, Attack on Titan just has too much momentum right now.
Oh, good grief, yes.
Yeah.
It is a runaway Infinity Train.
Right. All right, here's another fun matchup that I think might be closer than a lot of people think it is. Fruits Basket versus Ascendance of a Bookworm.
The Bookworm fans, come to its aid! Come to its aid!
I think Fruits Basket
Yeah,
is
it'll
just
be
gonna
Fruits Basket.
steamroll it.
I love Ascendance of a Bookworm. Like, it is the flavor of the week that I just was like, oh, I'm just gonna watch the show because whatever. And I ended up watching the whole thing. It's so cute. But Fruits Basket, that's the oldie but goodie, and everybody is just going nuts over the newest seasons.
And isn't it was announced that the final season is coming soon, right?
Really soon.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it has the hype behind
Oh,
it.
yeah.
It has the fan base. I don't think Bookworm has enough behind it to keep it.
Even if it has the fan base, it's a bunch of bookworms supporting bookworms, and we just read books. Nobody's paying attention to this sports-esque thing we're doing here.
Next up, this will be an interesting one. Sailor Moon versus Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro.
So Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro has an anime announced, but it's not here yet.
Yep.
But the people who love the manga are just rabid.
Oh, yeah.
So I want the upset for Nagatoro, but I think Sailor Moon's going to come through on this one.
Yep. I think this is just, Sailor Moon is one that will always be a strong competitor just because of the people that will support the classic series. So it's just something that's been with us for the past 25 years, 30 years, something like that, and just it's close to people's hearts, so that'll be a fun one. Speaking of fun ones, here's another one. Maid in Abyss versus Fooly Cooly.
This was hurting me because I love them both for different reasons. Fooly Cooly was like one of the first animes I watched on Toonami, and I was like,
that was confusing.
oh, it was so confusing. I didn't know what was going on, but that's the whole point of Fooly Cooly.
And it all clicks at the end, though. It all clicks.
Yep.
That last episode
It
just.
all clicked.
Oh.
Yeah. But then Maid in Abyss, like, I love the dark.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's
love
very
darkness. Like, ooh. So I'm struggling there.
This is why you made us suffer through all those puns.
But one thing I think is interesting is like one thing I think could be a factor. A lot of people love Fooly Cooly, but a lot of people are just like, I don't get it. I'm voting for anything else.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That does happen too.
Yeah.
Yep. I know one of my close friends like absolutely hates Fooly Cooly, and I was like, "What's wrong with you? It's so good."
It has a giant iron.
I've got a buddy in college who just refers to it as the forbidden anime, and I'm still not quite sure why. But he's just like, no, I'm not watching it. It's forbidden. And I'm like, no,
I
sure.
want to know why now too.
Right? I've never understood. I've asked him many times. It's just like, oh, no, it's just what we did.
Oh, don't be that guy, people.
I'll have to tell him that. He's been ostracized from our entire podcast. Fun. Anyway, next up, Yu Yu Hakusho versus Goblin Slayer. Will, you wrote in the notes here, for all that is good in the world, let Yu Yu Hakusho win?
Yes. It has. This is one of the old school, new school things where it has to win. It's like you can all talk about Goblin Slayer this and Goblin Slayer that, but it's not Yu Yu Hakusho. And when matched up against Goblin Slayer, Hakusho just has to win. This is just like recency bias just should not exist for this matchup. It should be just Yu Yu Hakusho all the way.
The image in my head is all the characters from Goblin Slayer just staring at you. There's like no movement, just like, okay.
I'm not gonna lie, for all the evil in the world, let Goblin Slayer win.
Also in Will's notes.
Yes. Just scribble out Yu Yu Hakusho what Will wrote, and same thing plugs in there. Goblin Slayer, let's go.
Yep. But Goblin Slayer's probably going to win that one. Anyway.
I don't know. I'll go with Will on that one. We'll be divided.
I mean, I would vote Yu Yu Hakusho personally, but...
Yeah, personally, I would vote Yu Yu Hakusho if I'm going off of, like, who's probably going to win, but, like, Goblin Slayer, I like a little bit more.
I know, there's so many factors in these brackets. It's like,
There are so many factors.
And finally, the last matchup we have in our brackets here, we've got Helsing versus Jujutsu Kaisen. We got a newcomer to the bracket here, and I think they could be one of the favorites to win it all.
Yeah.
that momentum.
Yeah.
It's
so
nuts.
much.
The series has been so hot this season. The manga has been selling like crazy. And Helsing's a classic. It actually just got picked up for an adaptation from Amazon Prime. It's from the producer that is doing Falcon and Winter Soldier over at Disney Plus, and he wrote the John Wick movies. So I'm thinking it's going to be awesome. But that being said, I don't think it has a chance of being Jujutsu.
It has those nice deluxe edition hardcovers, though, from Dark Horse.
That's true.
So if you want those in the sale, people, you got to vote it in.
Yep, save big money by voting Big Vampires.
They're very
Hardcovers are
nice
great.
books. They're huge.
Yep.
Huge. Anyway.
And anyway, those are a round of 32 matchups. Anything you think that we should... This is going to be the most interesting that we've already gone over, but you wanted to touch on again.
I'm just curious about round 2, how that's going to look.
I think there are going to be a lot of awesome round 2 matchups.
Yeah.
So many are just going to be fighting.
Like, I'm excited to see what results from Fate versus Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that could be almost a coin flip if you ask me. Also, let's see, we got My Hero Academia versus Shield Hero. That'll be a juggernaut collision.
I feel like
there.
Shield Hero might come out with past Inuyasha just a little bit, but then like it's gonna be like worn out for My Hero. There's just
I always
gonna
love
be
it in
too
the
much.
brackets where it's like, okay, this one's going to go all the way, just put them in every single space.
Yeah, it's nice when it's like, okay, whoever is going to win this matchup is most likely going to win it all.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it makes then the rest kind of like.
Definitely.
Yeah, they just have like such a good corner to dominate in.
Yeah, another interesting one that could happen in the second round, Haikyuu versus Jojo's. I
Yeah.
think that'll be fun. We've had a lot of really cool second round pairings that are going to make our fans think if they work out in the first round. So we might have some Cinderella pop up out of nowhere
Mhm.
Yep.
and just shock people. But I think we've got a lot of good stuff. So who are you folks picking?
Cinderella is my favorite anime.
Wow.
You are banned from the podcast.
I don't know what's going to win it all, but I think Joramia is going to surprise a lot of people.
Mhm.
I'm excited to see that.
I feel like since we're hyping it up, everyone will vote against it now. Don't do that, people.
No,
Go Gundam.
Oh, no.
But no, I think like Jujutsu Kaisen might show up, and there might be a lot of people that haven't checked it out yet, and they might get shocked with how far it goes in the tournament, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm curious if Demon Slayer manages to beat out Attack on Titan though,
Mm-hmm.
just because of that corner up
You
there.
could get Demon Slayer versus Jujutsu Kaisen.
Exactly.
That might be an ultimate matchup there, and it's like two of our hottest manga right now
Exactly.
colliding.
We could see a Shonen Jump Elite Four.
Yeah. Because we've got like My Hero on one side, we've got both JoJo's and Haikyuu on the other.
Okay, Attack on Titan has taken one of those out now just because. We can't let
Well,
this
that
dominate.
means it'll have to take out Demon Slayer.
Yeah, Demon Slayer and Attack on
Mhm.
Titan could just be like a devastating battle there. So.
Yep. Though a lot of brackets could be broken.
Mhm.
Yeah.
A lot of tears can be shed.
Heart's broken too.
Yep, that too.
Oh yeah, but I think we got a lot of excitement ahead for us. If you folks want to fill out your brackets, you still got plenty of time. Go to writestuffanime.com. Starting Sunday, we've got voting. So once you get your brackets set up, come back on Sunday and help us decide which of these 32 will be our Anime Madness champion.
And make sure to get your brackets locked in before Sunday or you can't participate. And we've got some great prize packages as well
Oh, yeah.
for the winners. We forgot to mention that. So we've got a grand prize, which right now is shaping up to be very awesome. I'm going to leave that tease there. Also got some second and third place runner-up prizes. Those are also very nice. It's not really like, the second and third, you got some skimpy things. No, this is pretty loaded. Like, these rival our holiday and birthday sale prize packages, guys.
So if you wanna
And
get
clump a lot of those together and in the prize for the grand prize.
Yeah,
It's
so if you
nuts.
want to win some great books, some great videos, get over to writestufanime.com, fill out your bracket, and get to voting.
Yep, we've got a nice large banner on the front page that will direct you where to go.
And save some money while you're at it.
Yeah!
Buy some of this stuff, because it's sweet.
Keep us employed!
So before we go, we should go over some of the cool sales we got coming up at the website. This weekend, we've got our Gender Bender Weekend sale.
Yeah.
So that'll be a lot of fun. That kicks off this Friday. The last couple days of Yen Press weekly specials going
Yes.
on right now.
I want to plug some favorites because I can't not recommend these. So the case study of Vanitas, it is very good. It is by the same author as Pandora Hearts. I think I bring this up every time we talk about Yen Press because I like it so much. It's kind of a steampunk with vampires.
Oh.
It's very cool. It's got a very deep plot and kind of shifts focus from one character to another very seamlessly. Highly recommend. And then another one that caught my eye that I haven't read, but I've got my eye on it, is When a Magician's Pupil Smiles. So that just looked very interesting and could be very, very heartbreaking. You might like the dark, Devlin, if there is dark.
Okay.
What I'll point out is, it was the first book I reviewed here at Right Stuff. It was one of their novels from Yen On. Penguin Highway is a lot of fun. It's about a young boy in a more rural town in Japan. And one day he just happens to notice penguins wandering around the area. And he befriends a girl that works at the local dentist's office and finds out that the two might be connected. And a lot of weird stuff is going on in their world because of it. It's just a fun, delightful romp about embracing the awe of discovery you have as a kid And I think it's just a lot of fun to, like, it captures a lot of what I enjoy about life in general, too. So I think it's just a blast. So definitely that one I would suggest. All right, and then also we've got the end of 3 weeks of awesome Funimation deals. That's wrapping up this Saturday as well. So you want to be sure and check those out while you've got the time. And next week, we're going to have a lot of fun because we're going to have our LOL weekly specials, a whole week devoted to comedies.
It's a lot of lulls.
Lol.
Insert laugh here. No.
I am the Winds of Doom.
But no, it's going to be a lot of fun. So once again, check that out. We got a lot of great deals on the website there for you. So remember, rightstuffanime.com.
Yeah.
All right, folks, if you enjoyed the show, make sure to rate us online at all the good podcast places. We'd love to hear what you think. Reach out to us on social media. We're on the Twitter, the Instagram, the Facebook, the Snapchat. I'm an old man.
The TikTok.
Yep. Give us your follows. Let us know what you think about this. Tell us your favorite brackets, choices, and stuff like that. We want to hear from you.
Do you agree with us? Did we insult your favorite show?
Oh, man.
Please be kind.
They will tell us if we insult their favorite show. It's the
Yes.
internet.
Don't do that, people. Don't be those people.
I don't hate Goblin Slayer.
The podcast is also on YouTube now.
Oh.
Like, for real?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I was working on that when you guys were on your really long hiatus. There's a separate YouTube channel for it. It's Right Stuff Anime Podcast.
Ooh.
Did a whole branding thing for it. Did all the cool.
Oh.
Very cool. So, yeah.
That's Ritsu without ears.
She has ears.
They're being hidden by her headphones. I'm sorry.
I wanted to try to have the bells incorporated in some way, but it didn't quite. It wouldn't work to have the bells and headphones. So I made golden headphones. I just kind of cover her ears. The bells kind of cover her ears too, though.
She looks bald.
I'll give her a wig.
Let us know on our podcast YouTube channel whether you think our mascot should have a wig. Thanks to our nameless producer for that information. So.
I mean, that was on last episode. I don't care.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll bring it up again because I wasn't here last episode.
Yeah.
Should have watched Given.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should have watched
It's not our
it.
fault you didn't watch it.
Yeah. Maybe that'll be on the bracket next year. So.
True.
Anyway, that does it for another episode of the Right Stuff Anime Podcast. We've got to go figure out what next stuff we're going to serve up to you. I don't know where I was going. It's been a long day.
Yeah,
So-
I woke up like, it's one of those days where it's like you have a really good dream, and then when you wake up, you're still in that dream state, and you can't recover the whole day.
Oh.
I'm in that mode right now.
Was it dreaming about how excited you were to record this podcast?
Yes, I was about to grab the trophy for the Right Stuff Anime Winner Champion, and then I had to wake up because my alarm went off.
Oh.
Sorry, buddy. Well, we'll let you go back to sleep then. Not at your desk, though. That's problematic. Anyway, that's it for us. Thanks for listening. We will catch you next time on the Right Stuff Anime Podcast. Thanks for listening.
Bye-bye.
Peace out.
Later.
All participants are wearing masks and practicing social distancing during this recording. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Right Stuff Anime. We'd love to hear from you. Send us your questions or comments to rspodcast@rightstuff.com, and we might just answer them in a future episode. That's rspodcast@rightstuff.com.